Hey guys, Jennifer Marrero here with Marrero Family Farm. Oh my gosh, I had just the most terrifying experience of my life. Holy moly. Oh my gosh, I had just the most terrifying experience of my life. Just thought I'd share it with you guys. So we have this tree that we've been wanting to move for a while. It's kind of in the line of our driveway into the barn, and it's just always in the way. But the problem is, I'll show you. The problem is that tree there leans this way. So my husband, of course, is like, I'm gonna cut it down and we're gonna pull a chain to the truck, but you've got to drive the truck. So I, of course, am like, seriously, you want me to drive the truck? Can't we just like ask a neighbor for some help or something like that? And he's the one person that will say, you know, we don't ask people for help, we do it on our own kind of thing. He has a really hard time asking people for help. So of course I'm like, all right, fine, I can do this, you know. I've done some crazy things before. I can handle being in the truck and, you know, so I'm in the truck. And then it dawns on me that this tree is in my hands. Like, I'm the one directing this tree of where it's actually gonna land. Oh my word, talk about nerve-wracking. I swear I feel like I threw up in my mouth. It's like, it's so gross. But I was utterly terrified. The sound of the chain when it's tightening, and knowing that if I don't direct this tree to go the right direction, that it could just land on the pool, or it could land on potentially anything in its way, right? I mean, it's not a huge tree, but it's a good sized tree. So I had to direct this tree to land between this post here, which we didn't care if we hit the post. If we hit the post, it's really not that big of a deal. During the springtime, it has a beautiful bush that will come back every season. And these, these bushes right here are really not that big of a deal either. So not terribly worried about that. But this right here, this here is our propane tank. So the tank is underground, but that's the cap for our propane. So of course I had to be careful with that, and I had absolutely no idea how far it was gonna hit. You know, I didn't know how close it was gonna be to the truck. So it was kind of nerve-wracking. But I would have liked for it, you can see it went this way here, but it did miss the post. It missed the bushes. I would have liked it to come a little bit more straighter here, but it's all right. I feel like I did okay because this tree, I'll show you the direction. I'm pretty sure I have some before footage of which direction the tree leaned, and if I can find it, I will post a picture. But this tree leaned, honestly, because it was so hollow. You can see the middle of the tree. This is why we had to cut it down. The whole center here is all hollowed out. And this is our second winter here. And every winter, I mean, it drops limbs like crazy. Same thing with, I'd love to get rid of this tree, but my husband will not. Plus, I don't want to be the one pulling this sucker down because it is huge, but I would like to chop off some of those branches here because these drop some really big limbs. But anyways, like I was saying, so this tree here, you can't really tell by the stump. Yeah, you really can't tell by the stump. But this tree here leaned like pretty much, I would say, this direction here. So I had to put some pretty good force to have it drop that way. It was very scary, in my opinion. But we got the job done. I just hope that I never have to do this ever again, because I will not. If he asks me to, I'm going to tell him he needs to get a neighbor, because I don't like that feeling I had in the pit of my stomach. I don't like that kind of adrenaline. I like roller coaster adrenaline, not tree gonna possibly fall in the wrong direction and break stuff kind of adrenaline. Nonetheless, my husband is over here cutting the tree and, you know, the wedge, doing like the wedge cut or whatever. And I have no clue what I'm doing, but he's relying on me to make sure the tree doesn't fall on him. So talk about having somebody's life. Well, of course you could have ran, but your life was still in my hands, it felt like. So, yeah. Adrenaline, sure. So enough about the tree. Have you guys met our little lady yet? This is Lady. She is our 8-month-old AKC registered Rottweiler. She is such a good girl. We've only had her for like 2 weeks now, maybe a week and a half or so. I think this Friday will be 2 weeks, and it is Wednesday. So she came into heat the second day that we got her. So we have not been able to let her play with our male, who they have been desperately wanting to meet each other, but we just can't yet, obviously, for good reasons. She's too young, obviously, to breed at this point, but we will be breeding them in the future. Sergeant! Hey! Sergeant! What are you doing? What you got? What is that, Sergeant? What are you playing with? What is that? You found something. So anyways, Sergeant is also AKC registered. He was a year old in September. So next winter, she'll be a little over a year and a half. And we'll breed her then. So we'll have puppies in probably in spring of 2023. That is the goal anyways. And we're excited about that because she is an amazing dog. And as you can see, we don't have her on a leash. We do have an electric fence, but only for our livestock animals. So, you know, there's the electric fence that keeps them in, but we don't have like an invisible fence or anything like that keeps her in the yard. So she's just really good. She hangs out every now and then. She tries to venture into our neighbor's yard, but she hasn't really gone over there yet. Now, as you can see, we have chickens out. We do have to kind of watch her with the chickens. If they like she's fine, but if they like fly or something, like look, see, she just kind of, what's that? I think she's trying to bite at a fly. Oh yeah, it was. But she checks them out and stuff, but the chickens get nervous around her. So she makes them nervous, then they fly and jump, and that gets her excited. And when they start doing all of that stuff, she wants to chase them. And honestly, I think it's just her way of wanting to play, because she's not attacking, you know, obviously, you know, when they're just hanging out and whatever, she's not trying to attack them. She's interested. She'll watch them. She definitely likes to look at them and watch them, but she gets overly excited when they're flapping their wings and acting a little crazy. So we have to keep an eye on her and just make sure that she doesn't attack any of the chickens. We had our little Peking ducks that you guys have seen. I think you've seen anyways. So we had our 2 male Peking ducks back there, and we have, you know, not too far from us, Huntsville is the closest big city, and there's a place over there called Big Spring Park. They had a post on Facebook that they had about 75 ducks that they needed to rehome, so to know that we had land, and we had the availability to be able to take some of them off their hands. And we asked if we could have a male and female, and they weren't opposed to it. So we have now 1 male and 1 female muscovy duck. They are the chocolate brown color, and they are, I mean, they're not friendly, but they're not mean. They don't try to peck or anything like that, but they get really excited for feeding time, which all animals do. So they get excited to see us when the food comes, but that's about it. So don't mind our lock system over here on the gate. Our pigs have figured out how to open the lock on the gate. So we have to put our fork here just to kind of keep it to where they won't push it out. But if you guys remember Peppa, she is Mama Pig. And Tiny Tim over there, he has grown a little bit, but as you can see, he's still pretty small. They are mini Juliana pigs, so they shouldn't get that big. Gotta keep, hey, lady, no, come on, let's go. Here, come on. Good girl, come here. Lady, here. Lady, here. Good girl, sit. Yes, good girl. You cannot play with the chickens. So, as you guys just saw, I had to raise my voice with her to get her to stop. It's probably going to be an issue, but again, she's never been trained around any livestock. No. So, with dogs, especially when you have, well, any dog really, but bigger breeds, you have to be a little bit more forceful so they can learn. We've done a lot of research on best practices for training, and then also not so much on the livestock portion of it, but you learn as you go. And so our male Rottweiler Sergeant, he's excellent around the livestock. He does chase the chickens. He does not try to bite at them. He does not try to grab them. He literally is just trying to play with them. He's great with our goats. He gets a little excited sometimes, but they're dogs. That's what they're going to do. And he's still just a year old, so he hasn't really calmed down yet. But he knows that his job is to protect them, and he does. He also just hangs out with the goats and the cows and, you know, the chickens. And he is a little overly excited with the pigs, but he still knows not to grab the pigs. So this little girl, Lady, never been trained on anything. We haven't had her since she was a little puppy, so it's just going to take a little longer for her to understand. And we were told that when they're doing something that they shouldn't, you kind of got to jab them in their side. So I don't know if you were able to see me jab her on the side, but that's just what you have to do. They have to know that what they're doing is wrong and they can't do it. And I don't want to smack her in the face, although I have pat her nose, you know, and kind of, but you know, it's not like a kid where you can just spank it on its butt and, you know, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. They're dogs, they're stubborn, and yeah, you've got to be a little bit more aggressive with them, especially since they are an aggressive breed kind of dog. You've got to train them that what they're doing is wrong. So with that being said, she's doing a great job so far. She gets a little antsy sometimes and gets a little out of hand, and we've got to correct her, but we didn't expect her to know exactly what to do from the beginning anyways. So it's just, it's a training process for her, and she'll learn. And oh, let me show you something else that's really cute. So our goat Piper had her little kids the other day. Today is the 23rd, and she had her babies on the 19th, and they're just kind of chilling right now. If you notice on the top of their head, today was dehorning day, but they did really, really well. They just look like that because they're sleepy. But, look, they're so silly. We put the blue coat, the spray on them, so it looks a little rough, but that's really just to protect them from any bacteria. It kills off any germs and stuff like that, and that stuff works amazing. This is the stuff that we always use, and it always does a really good job. We've never had any problems with infection or anything like that. What are you babies doing? Are you sleeping? Are you babies sleeping? Oh, you're so tired. So this one looks really... they look a lot worse than they are. Again, it looks like, you know, it looks like it's black, but it's not. It's blue. That's from the spray only. That's not from the actual cauterizing and burning off of the horns. So, but they're doing good. They're happy. They're healthy. I gave them some ProBios afterwards. I also gave them some, I do the liquid drench. So I gave them a little bit of liquid drench, and they're good. They're healthy. And Mama is doing excellent. So this, I think today's day 4 that she's had them. So tomorrow or tonight, actually, we're going to be separating her from the babies. We've been having an issue that I'll get into a little bit later down the road, and I'll explain to you, but we've been having a slight milk issue, and I got some advice from some people, and I'll share that with you guys on another video. But yeah, so everybody's happy and healthy. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I know it's been a little bit all over the place, from the tree to the dog to the goats, but we always have a lot of stuff going on. It's been too freezing for me to come out and do some videos, so hopefully you guys got a little bit of an idea of what's going on here. Today the weather has been amazing, so that's why we're outside getting some stuff done. We're probably gonna burn some piles later, or actually here soon, hopefully, if I can talk them into it. But everything is going good, and we're just, you know, chugging along here, and we'll give you more updates of how the goats are doing. And we have another goat, Pebbles, who should actually be due at the end of January. Hopefully. I do feel like I felt something kicking the other day, so she doesn't look very pregnant, and her udder's not getting very big. Hopefully she'll come into milk by the time that the babies come. So I'll keep you guys posted on that and let you guys know what's going on. And that's it. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and share it with your friends. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.